Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, it's Monday morning, and ain't God good? And won't He do it? Oh, yes, He will. Oh, yes, He will. I know Melissa probably saying, Lee Craft, Lee Craft, Lee Craft. You say the same thing every morning. I'm going to say Enoch, Ewok, Enoch. That means y'all sure know what to say. Look, it's Monday morning, right? And a lot of times when you're laying down in bed and you wake up, you have some things on your mind that you can't really remember sometimes. But this morning, or excuse me, this morning, I heard, I thought it was my wife called my name. It sounds so clear, Lee. So I get up and go in the bathroom and say, hey, what's going on? You call me? She ain't call your name. But before we get started, if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com or go to Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, all those beautiful apps. Look for the animated black man with a white beard, smiling and profiling, and finally realize, y'all trying to size me up. Yeah. I mean, it sounded so clear. Like, Lee. So I get up and say, hey, you call me? No, I ain't call you. And my wife said, Lee, that was probably, that was God talking to you. I said, really? I said, if it was, I said, baby, I didn't recognize his voice. That's bad, isn't it? She said, well, Lee, it happened to everybody. I said, really? She said, I talk to God every morning, And sometimes when you hear that voice, it's time you need to ask him a question. I said, I hope he come back. No, I'm just playing. But no, people look. Sometimes we can't really explain everything that we're hearing. Everything. That's why I said the mind is powerful, very powerful. The mind, the body, and the spirit. So I called my sister yesterday, and I told her about it, and she said, Andrew, that was God talking to you. I said, really? She said, I've heard it before too, and I asked God, what do you want from me? I said, what do you say? She said, I don't remember. That's so many years ago. She said, next time it happens, because it will happen again, you need to ask him. So people, all I'm saying, people, is that sometimes when God trying to tell us something, we don't necessarily hear it all the time, or we don't necessarily get it because we think it comes from somebody inside of our home, but it's not. But I can recall one time I remember when I was working. I work in third shift from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning, and I would take my kids. I pick my kids up from school, and and I was the president of the PTA. And sometimes I get off work, I go by the school and sit in the classroom and see what the children needed for school. I talk to the teachers and see how can I help out for us getting the kids supplies and all those things for the ones who didn't have it. And that day. And my daughter, be mindful, my kids, they was in the ambassadors program, after school program, that for kids to make a little extra money. So I would leave there and go pick them up. And one day, man, I guess I stayed up so long. I guess I stayed a little bit over 24 hours. And I called my wife and said, baby, I said, my hands is shaking. She said, Lee, your body is tired. So I said, I'm gonna take me a power nap, and I'll call you before I leave because I had to take the kids to the math program. I wasn't going to get out of the math program, so that hour nap that I was sitting there waiting and everything, I heard God call my name. But be mindful. No matter what you're going through, I can guarantee you one thing: it's going to be okay as long as you make God a part of your life. That's the what if guarantee. I heard God call my name just clear as day. Telling me get some rest. Man, I laid there. I mean, it's like I was talking to somebody in the vehicle. That's how clear it was. So I do know that God can talk to you. I did ask him a question then. I sure did. I didn't ask nothing. He said, get some rest. And I took that hour nap, whatever I need, it energized my body. And I was good. Went home that night and got me some rest. Because like I said, third shift is not for everybody. Work 3 days, then you're off 2, then work 2, you're off 3. It's like I said, it's not for everybody. The people who do third shift, I tip my hat to you because the body was meant to sleep at night. Some guys say they love third shift. I'm trying to figure out how do you love third shift when you sleeping on third shift. I call a lot of guys sleep. So I had to take Tylenol, not Tylenol. I took Benadryl to make myself shut my body down so I get some rest. Because trying to lay down in the middle of the day and try to sleep, it's hard to do. It's hard to do unless you're just really, really tired. And 9 times out of 10, I couldn't do it. My body wouldn't allow me to do it. So I took that Benadryl so my body was shut down so it have a chance to recharge. There's a difference between closing your eyes and resting. I just closed my eyes, but I wasn't resting. So that was a big difference. So all I'm saying to people is this right here. Do you know when God is talking to you? Do you know? Do you know his voice? Some say they do, but do you really know his voice when you hear him talking to you? Like I said, I didn't. It sounds just like my wife's voice. Lee. I said, hey, you call me? I didn't call your name. I'm like, man. I'm like, am I going crazy? But I wasn't. Talking to my wife, talking to my sister, she said, this, that was God was talking to you. Next time he talk to you, and he will, ask him, what is it that he want from you? Because like I said, I'm trying my best to the lessons that I've learned to teach the ones who coming in behind me to make them better people. Because the way everybody's doing things now, it's like if you're the stupidest, that's what they want. That's what they want. My grandfather, man, if he was here to see some of the things people were doing, he'd be mad. He would be highly upset because he told me at a young age, you don't have to have on the best clothes. Just wear the best that you have and carry yourself accordingly. That's all required of you, son. That's all required of you. If you're going to have on something that's dirty, try to clean it the best you possibly can and carry yourself with dignity, integrity. Hey, how you doing? Speak. Let the words come from your mouth mean something. Don't just go around speaking garbage all the time. You can find garbage anywhere. But speak something that will leave an impression upon the people. That's what he told me. And I've learned, when I say I've learned a lot from a man who so-called on paper didn't have education, but he was one of the smartest men that I knew. People don't understand that. And like I said, I do reading. Sometimes I look at the Facebook thing that pop up and show these historical black people that what they went through. This Dr. Vivian, I think it was Thomas, smart man. He was a doctor. He did I think it was called Blue Baby Syndrome, if I'm not mistaken, and how he operated on the child to save a child's life, and didn't get no credit for it. And he couldn't be called a doctor. Went to Johns Hopkins, and not only that, he was a janitor doctor teaching a class. Make it make sense. And you ask why they want to destroy history. If you destroy history, you're destroying history, the real history, the real pioneers. I want to tell young men all the time, we all in this together. Black, white, yellow, we're all in this together. But when you try to destroy American history, you're destroying black history as well, because when my grandfather said we built America, he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. I had a poster board that had all these black inventors on this poster board, what they did, but didn't get credit for. Just imagine the ones that wasn't on it. So that's why I always said, people, I want to miss when I'm gone, not while I'm here. I want my life to make a difference. And you do too. We are great people. All of us. Some of us just terrible. Hopefully they'll get it right. Hopefully God will change their hearts, that it will change their minds. Because we in this world together. Black, white, Chinese, Japan, Russian, everybody, we in this together. We all brothers. For those who believe in God. Just keep it simple. But I don't know why negativity is selling so fast and so rapidly. You can't keep it on the shelves. But when people wake up, when they really wake up, they will understand why it's imperative that we bridge these gaps. So, like I said, that was on my mind this morning about the things but that voice, is it real? Man, like I said, when I heard it, it was so clear. So clear. It's like, man. And they told me God was talking to me. I knew he knew me. But the thing about it, though, I got to do better and get to know him better, to hear his voice and ask him those questions. The question only that he can answer for me. Because doing the right thing is just that, doing the right thing. I had a lot of trials and tribulations in my life. It wasn't for God, I would have made it through. You know? If you only knew the things that I've done to help people with no strings attached. My wife often told me, Lee, the things you do, Lee, you do from your heart. People are not going to do you the way you do them. I said, baby, I know that. No, you don't. She said, you learn to know that. You didn't know that then. I said, baby, if you got God in you, you know, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to let my enemies drown? I said, no, Lee, that's not you. But sometimes just get out of the way and let nature take its course. That's okay. Because all you're doing is saving a snake to come back and bite you. And you die. And I love you too much for you to die. I said, what? Say that again. You heard me the first time. That was tough. So like I said, people, so those of you who struggle with certain things, when God talking to you, know his voice, when you hear that voice that you can't recognize and stuff, and it sounds like God, if it sounds like God, more than 9 times out of 10, it probably is God. Ask him, God, what is it you want from me? Just ask that question. So that's it for me. So hopefully you enjoyed the show. If you didn't enjoy the show, if I didn't make any sense, my kids wasn't lying. Said, Daddy, you're not a good storyteller. Hey, I'm not a good storyteller. But one thing that I do know, I told my children, what comes from the heart reaches the heart. So with that being said, Lee Craft, this is my podcast. What if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com. One band, one sound. Together, we got an opportunity to turn this whole world around. But in order to have a real conversation, you got to have real people. If you want to have a real conversation. Have a blessed day. And please find time. Make time to tell God.